One evening, my grandfather stood in front of my bookshelf and quietly ran his fingers across the colorful covers lined up in a row. There were books about habits, success, productivity, discipline, positive thinking, and motivation. He looked at them for a long moment before turning toward me. He asked, "How many of these books changed your life?" I smiled awkwardly and said, "Some of them had inspired me. Some had motivated me for a few days. A few were still unfinished. But I learned a lot from them. I want better life, Grandpa. That's why I read self-help books." Grandfather nodded gently and asked, "How much of it stayed with you, son?" A moment of silence between us. He asked another question. "Tell me, if all these books have made life better, why do so many people today still feel anxious, restless, lonely, and unhappy?" I did not answer. He continued, "Modern people know more than any generation before them. They have thousands of videos, hundreds of podcasts, and shelves full of advice. Yet they struggle to sleep peacefully. They struggle to sit quietly. They struggle to understand themselves. An invisible pressure is eating them alive. Perhaps the problem is not that people are reading too little. Perhaps they are reading the wrong things for the wrong reasons." I leaned forward and asked, "What do you mean?" For that, he replied, "The problem is not that self-help books are wrong. The problem is that people expect them to answer questions they were never meant to answer. If you have a headache, medicine helps. Here, self-help books are like medicine. It will cure you for sure. But if you don't fix your sleep cycle and never take care of yourself, you will need medicine forever." I asked him, "So, are self-help books useless?" He laughed softly and shook his head and continued. "Not at all," he said. "Self-help books have their place. When you're stressed, self-help books recommend you download a meditation app, take a cold shower, practice deep breathing for 5 minutes, or go for a long walk, and those things genuinely help. You feel lighter for a while, maybe for an hour, a day, or even a week. But before long, the same worries return and the same motivation fades away." Before I could respond, he walked over to an old wooden shelf and carefully pulled out a worn philosophy book. He brushed the dust from its cover and placed it gently in my hands. "Now let me show you how philosophy approaches the very same problem. Philosophy asks, why are you stressed? You say, because I might get fired. Philosophy asks, are you getting fired right now? You say, no, but I might. Philosophy says, then you are suffering in your imagination. You are suffering a future that hasn't happened. You are trading the peace of today for the nightmare of tomorrow. Now your brain will stop that unnecessary thought. Do you see the difference, son? Self-help gives you a band-aid for the wound, whereas philosophy teaches you how to stop cutting yourself. Philosophy is a way of living, he said. Now I realized and went through a phase where I hated self-help books and thought it was shallow. Then what should I read? I asked. People think they must choose between self-help and philosophy. That is unnecessary. You need both. Different stages of life require different companions. Self-help teaches habits. Philosophy teaches us how to live. Self-help books are the prescription for your current symptoms. When you are feeling lazy, when you need to get your life organized, read the self-help book. Let it slap you awake. Let it get you moving. But philosophy, that is like a gym membership. This will teach you a lifestyle. When you read philosophy, you can change the structure of your thoughts. Now David started to look at the book with new perspective. The rows of colorful spines no longer looking like a collection of quick fixes, but like a map. He looks back at John, who is watching him with a calm, patient smile. Like David, we all have a bookshelf full of advice we haven't truly lived yet. Maybe it's time to stop looking for a cure and start building a foundation. If you're ready to stop reading about life and start mastering it, join us. We explore ideas that bridge ancient wisdom with modern living, one thought at a time. Click subscribe and let's build that foundation together. See you in the next video. Thank you.